The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. New Providence rocked by blackouts. BPL says outages caused by electrical malfunctions at the Clifton Pier Power Station. Residents frustrated. Jonathan Eric Gardner seeking to dismiss the criminal complaint against him. And the government pledging renewed action to clear shanty towns. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, June 15th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndre Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll tell you about a Fathers and Children and Family Fun Day. Speak with the Girls Club of the Bahamas. All the details this morning. Later in business, we're talking with the National Training Agency about what they have going on. So a lot to get to on this Monday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, investigations continue into a shooting incident that's left two men in the hospital. According to police, shortly before 11 a.m. yesterday, police received a call from an anonymous individual requesting emergency medical services assistance for two men who had been shot. Officers at the scene learned that both the victims had been taken to the hospital by private vehicle. Later went to the hospital and interviewed one of the victims, who reported that he and another male were performing mechanical work on a blue Nissan Cube. When a black Honda approached them, two men got out of that vehicle and opened fire on them. One of the victims was shot in the right hand. The other suffered gunshot injuries to his shoulder and left the victims. Said to be ages 34 and 46, both men receiving medical attention in the hospital. Police asking for anyone with information to contact them. Well, called Growing Pains continued over the weekend in New Providence as dozens of communities on the island were rocked with hours-long power outages. Bahamas Power and Light said the outages were due to an electrical malfunction at the Clifton Pier Power Station. The outages, now occurring on a daily basis, have angered many residents who say they've lost appliances and food. Last week, Minister of Energy Jo Beth Colby-Davis advised residents to prepare for power interruptions as part of BPL's Growing Pains and acknowledged frustrations from consumers, promising that the government is working to bring relief. BPL began reporting outages Thursday evening when consumers in the Market Street area, Palmetto Street, and surrounding areas lost power. Other areas affected Thursday were Paradise Island, Blue Hill Road, and West Bay Street, Sea Beach Estates as well. In 25 statements on its WhatsApp channel, BPL informed consumers that Bahamas Grid Company was responding to the outages and conducting restoration efforts, confirming on Friday that multiple areas, including Winton, Soldier Road, Blue Hill Road, Gladstone Road, and Rocky Pine and surrounding areas were offline. Sandy, Coral Harbor, Lifer Key, Bahamar, Ocean Club were also affected. By Sunday, BPL announced that rotational power supply would be implemented in the Fire Trail area, including Golden Isles, Carmichael Road. They said this was being done to combat higher than anticipated peak load demand on Main Transformer 1. The attorney representing Jonathan Eric Gardner, a convicted drug trafficker who was arrested by U.S. authorities after the plane he was on crashed in waters off Florida on May 12th. The attorney is claiming his constitutional rights have been violated, and he's asking a New York judge to dismiss a criminal complaint against him. Citing the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees the right to a grand jury indictment for capital or other infamous crimes, that lawyer, Susie Vero Ayala, argued that Gardner has been detained for too long without an indictment. Because no indictment has been filed, there's no formal charging document that meets the requirements, and the delay has prejudiced the defendant's ability to mount a defense, locate witnesses, and preserve the evidence, according to the lawyer. Well, you recall the plane Gardner was on, which crashed off Florida on Election Day in the Bahamas, had been en route to Grand Bahama from Abaco. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued the passengers and detained Gardner, who was previously convicted and sentenced for drug-related crimes. A 15-year-old boy tragically lost his life after reportedly falling into the water during a fishing trip with two other juveniles off Green Turtle Key, Abaco. This happened on Friday. Shortly after 7:30 p.m., an anonymous person contacted the Green Turtle Key police station and reported that the boy was a 12-year-old and was with a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 16-year-old when he went missing at sea. In response, the Green Turtle Key Volunteer Fire Department conducted a search, and they found the victim. The team performed CPR, but was not by. Pledging the government's no-tolerance approach to unregulated communities, Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs Clay Sweeting says that the unregulated Community Action Task Force will continue its work over the coming weeks, with detention set to begin in areas that have already been served notices. He said the task force will continue their work over the next few weeks and that there will be demolition in areas, and they'll travel to various islands and throughout communities in New Providence to notify people who are building without building permits. Minister Sweeting also pledging that a transport strategy for New Providence will transform the island's roadways over the next 2 decades. Sweeting said traffic congestion, unsafe roads, and flooding demonstrate the need for a holistic approach. He said the Transport Strategy 2045 will look at issues that can no longer be solved by isolated road projects alone. He said the strategy identifies 12 priority transportation corridors for improvement, including Gladstone Road, Milo Butler Highway, East Street, Mackey Street, Carmichael Road, and the North Coast corridors. Overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump is headed to the French Alps today to meet with fellow world leaders at the Group of Seven summit after announcing an agreement that he says will bring an end to the U.S. war with Iran. Trump and Iranian officials had been saying for days that they were making progress towards reaching a goal, but even on Sunday, things appear to be on shaky ground after a new round of strikes between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. With the agreement, Trump is due to arrive on Monday afternoon with some wind at his back for talks with G7 leaders, including some of the who have been sharply critical of his managing of the roughly 15-week conflict that has led to a surge in global energy prices. The conflict, which polls show American voters largely disapprove of, had made some Republicans nervous about the political impact it could have on the November midterm elections. So again, the U.S. and Iran reaching that initial agreement that could extend their shaky ceasefire and lead to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. But significant challenges remain, including whether Israel will continue its offensive in Lebanon. Details of the agreement not immediately released, but it appeared that it would not be implemented until it's signed, which mediator Pakistan said would happen Friday in Geneva. Until then, shipping will likely remain restricted in the strait, which is a crucial passage for the world's oil and gas. Israel's defense minister saying today that the country wouldn't withdraw from land seized in Lebanon, where Israel is fighting the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militant group. Israel joined the U.S. in launching the war on February 28th, but it is not party to the deal.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, Bayman Javonia Valcourt ending her collegiate career with a pair of bronze medals on the national stage. The University of Tennessee Volunteers senior athlete finished third in the women's 400 meters and then anchored the Volunteers women's 4x400 meter relay team to a third-place finish at the 2026 NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships, which wrapped up in Eugene, Oregon. The up-and-coming rising star for the Bahamas had a pair of fantastic runs, her time of 50.16 seconds in the women's 400 meters, and a little over an hour after winning in that event, she came back and anchored the women's 4x400 meter relay team. That team running 3:23.75 to finish third behind Arkansas and Georgia. The Bahamas Youth Flag Football League hosting a one-day football camp spearheaded by Sunrise Christian Academy head coach Tyler Trotter. Coach Trotter Saturday had an opportunity to transfer knowledge to players aged 6 to 13 on the multi-purpose fields adjacent to the original Thomas A. Robinson Track Field Stadium. The junior players participated in several offensive and defensive drills. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Sports section. And the Bahamas Golf Federation naming a junior national team to represent the country. The 2026 Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship scheduled for June 28th to July 3rd in the Dominican Republic. The team named during a press conference at the Ocean Club Golf Course on Saturday. A 14-member team featuring a selection of the country's best golfers ranging from the 13 and under division to the 18 and under division. All the names in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes winning their first Stanley Cup championship in 20 years Sunday, using a suffocating defense in Game 6 to shut out the Vegas Golden Knights 3-0, winning 3 straight games of a thrilling final filled with momentum swings and spectacular offense. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. So we've got tropical moisture combined with a deep layered trough over the northern half of the country. That's going to support periods of showers and thunderstorms across that part of the country today. Elsewhere, conditions will be generally stable. but cloudy as upper-level moisture continues to stream across the southern half of the country. Surface high pressure will promote moderate to fresh breezes across most of the islands. There is a slight risk for a few strong to severe thunderstorms over the northern and northwest Bahamas today. And everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, wear protective clothing, and limit outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours, as UV indices are expected to be in the very high range today. Heat indices in the lower triple digits as well. We've got a slight to moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed beaches, and beachgoers in the southeast Bahamas should exercise caution when entering waters. And there's also moderate risk of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas and during heavy rainfall events today. And coastal residents are advised there is a marginal risk of coastal flooding during evening high tides. So your forecast for today, the northern half of the country, the northern and northwest Bahamas, looking at a mix of sun and clouds, becoming partly cloudy to cloudy by tonight, a 30 to 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms, winds southwest to west at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts for the extreme northern islands, and southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly cloudy today, becoming variably cloudy tonight. A 10 to 30% chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms. An increase in shower and thunderstorm chances for the afternoon hours in the southeast Bahamas. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts in the southeastern islands. Temperatures today look for highs around 90, 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index, though, will make you feel like it's between 101, 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78, 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather track brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple.
It's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let print my Masters, bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Put more money back in your pocket with a Fidelity debt consolidation loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity debt consolidation loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
The unsung heroes give us pride in the present, hope for the future, and most importantly, become living examples of the best that we can be.
CIBC Caribbean wants to reward the unsung heroes in our communities. Do you know someone who's been doing outstanding work in their community or performed an extraordinary act of heroism, bravery, or kindness in the last 12 months? Nominate a hero today. Go to CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Not all water is created equal. Consider this. You've got many sources of drinking water at your disposal, and they seem like viable options. But are they? Now consider this. Quenching your thirst with water that's perfectly pure. Aquapure water, and proven to be perfectly pure, matters to you. Reach for a bottle of Aquapure. Be sure, Aquapure.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a scratch to a full mashup. And with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance. Visit us online or in branch. And just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
See the legacy we trust. Oh, the water is our lifeline, and the future flows through us. From the pine barrens to the ocean, in the sun and in the dust, we're building for tomorrow, and the future flows through us. Yeah, yes, yes, the future flows through us.
The Water and Sewage Corporation, celebrating 50 years of nation building.
Your next win is waiting right now at islandluck.com. The quicker you sign up, the quicker you can play, the quicker you can score, and the quicker you can win big. From casino games to sportsbook action and lottery excitement, it's all just a few clicks away. Sign up today at islandluck.com and get in the game instantly. Island Luck. Join the winner's circle now. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 4224796. Standard text rate supply. And once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also, this morning, we'll be talking with the Boys and Girls Club of the Bahamas about their Father, Children, and Family Fun Day event, just in time for Father's Day, which is Sunday coming. And we'll learn all about that and how you can be a part of it. And later, always a lot of exciting things happening at the National Training Agency. We're going to be talking with them this morning for details. That's coming up in business. So that's all ahead. But right now, let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, the paper's filled with unbelievable stories today. A lot going on in this tiny little country. A lot. The big headline, the National Guardian, NP, New Providence, rocked by blackouts all over the island from Thursday straight through the weekend. It's unbelievable what's going on, but we've been told it's growing and patient. We'll get into that in just a bit. Another story here, though. Gardner seeks to dismiss criminal complaint. Let's get this out of the way. Our Rachel Scott writing about it. The attorney representing Jonathan Eric Gardner, the convicted drug trafficker who was arrested by U.S. authorities after the plane he was in waters off Florida on. That attorney is claiming his constitutional rights have been violated and has asked a New York complaint against him, citing the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees the right to a grand jury indictment for capital or other infamous crimes. The lawyer, Susie Ribeiro Ayala, arguing that Gardner, her client, has been detained for too long without an indictment. Citing Rule 48B of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, and that it empowers the court to dismiss a criminal complaint if there is unnecessary delay in presenting the charge to a grand jury or in filing an information against a defendant who has been held to answer to the district court. Because no indictment has been filed, there is no formal charging document that meets the requirements of Federal Rule Criminal Procedure 7. Furthermore, the delay has prejudiced the defendant's ability to mount a defense, locate witnesses, and preserve exculpatory evidence. Further, the defendant continues to be held in custody without the filing of a charging document. And for the foregoing reasons, the defendant respectfully requests that the court enter an order dismissing the complaint in this matter with prejudice and ordering the immediate release of the defendant. So that plane, which Gardner was on, crashed off Florida on Election Day. It had been en route to Grand Bahama from Abaco. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued the passengers and detained Gardner, who was previously convicted and sentenced for drug-related crimes. 2 days later, the U.S. government filed a criminal complaint against Gardner, alleging that he had been moving tons of cocaine through the Bahamas with the protection of Bahamian government officials and high-ranking politicians. His lawyer said Gardner made his initial appearance on May 15th in the United States District Court for the Middle District of Florida and remains incarcerated, having been eventually moved to a detention facility in Oklahoma, where he remains. She argued in the motion to dismiss the complaint, quote, more than 30 days have now elapsed since Mr. Gardner was first deprived of his liberty. As of the filing of this motion, no indictment has been returned. Gardner has not waived indictment, and according to the defense investigation, the review of the public docket, no excludable time exists under the Speedy Trial Act. Accordingly, Mr. Gardner remains incarcerated solely on a criminal complaint that was filed 2 days after his detention had already begun, for which no timely indictment has been obtained. The criminal complaint has generated, of course, significant controversy here in the Bahamas, raising concerns in particular over allegations of political involvement in Gardner's alleged operations. An affidavit from a special agent with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, Michael Coleman, alleged that a Bahamian politician designated as Politician 1 met with a drug dealer and a cooperating source for U.S. law enforcement in Parliament in 2024 to discuss a possible drug deal. Investigators said that Gardner had $30,000 in cash when he was arrested after the Election Day plane crash. A photo of evidence from the incident showed cash in a bag marked with a name that was redacted and labeled Politician 1. Other passengers on the plane included the Progressive Liberal Party supporters who were headed to Grand Bahama to vote. In the motion to dismiss the complaint against Gardner, who was his recounting of the events that led to and followed the plane crash, it was noted that the flight, which was only meant to last 15 to 20 minutes, seemed to be going well with clear weather conditions in Grand Bahama in sight. But the motion says that according to the pilot, all navigational instruments failed and the aircraft ultimately crashed in waters off the coast of Florida. It noted that while the remaining passengers spent the night in a hotel, Gardner and the pilot, Ian Nixon, were both taken into custody. Nixon was later returned to the Bahamas after being released the following day with the other passengers. While Nixon previously gave an account of the day's events in an interview with the Tribune, he did not mention having been to custody himself. In detailing the crash itself, Nixon saw ambulance that he said he believed caused the plane's equipment fail. Nixon has also been previously incarcerated in the U.S. for cocaine importation. He told the Tribune that he had met Gardner for the first time the morning of the plane crash and calls for a local investigation into the claims made in the U.S. criminal complaint. In a statement on May 19th, the Bahamian government said it was taking the matter extremely seriously and that local law enforcement authorities will also commence their own inquiries. But there's been no formal announcement by the police or any other law enforcement agency in the Bahamas of any investigation since then. Okay, interesting stuff there. I don't think we should say too much on it, but if you have some very surface comments, we can get into it a bit. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's hear from you on this matter. Already the text line is looking interesting. Boy. But hey, let's get to this call. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Hey, Dwight, how you doing, man?
Doing well.
Good. Two quick things. One is we spent some time last week talking about the preferential treatment that American persons who are arrested in the Bahamas receive. And I want Bahamian officials and citizens, but specifically those who are responsible for the prosecution of the law and the execution of justice in the Bahamas, to note that no preferential treatment is being given to Gardner in the United States. That's not to say that the United States justice system is perfect, but at no point are we able to see that because Gardner is a Bahamian, he's receiving softer treatment in the United States.
All right, but John, I mean, what people were talking about last week is based on their perceptions and how they feel. Excuse me, and right, it's not like there is true evidence to support. Some people believe that, yes, these are fines and these are, but are they related? Are they on the same level as the charges that are being alleged against this person?
I don't think justice works like that, Dwight. Justice doesn't select a specific type of offense and say it should be applied softly or preferentially or not. Justice should be applied equally under all circumstances. And the one thing that I thought to make on this particular scenario is...
I don't know. You're going down a dangerous road here. We've got some stories where people from other countries have claimed some very harsh treatment here.
That's true,
right? So it's a lot of both sides. So I don't think it's always one way or always not one way, and so I'm not sure where you're going with that.
Dwight, it is true, and I get for the Bahamian people, some of us, this is an uncomfortable conversation, but it is a conversation that is necessary. It is necessary. I'm not living in an illusion as an aware Bahamian when I say to you, like many Bahamians who I speak to on a daily basis will tell you that the concern exists that our system gives American preferential treatment. I leave that there, and I will continue as these cases come up to raise the issue because that's what I see. The other point I wanted to make, Dwight, is this, is that in that statement that you read, you also pointed out that, well, not you didn't point out, you highlighted that there is government officials alleged in the indictment and high-ranking government officials and politicians that he was receiving protection from. That's a very, very interesting point in that indictment. And should the case go to trial, I'm sure it would not be able to proceed without those evidence that allowed for the indictment to list that specific point to have to be presented. So if he goes to trial, when the examinations start to take place and testimony and evidence is presented, a part of the indictment has to be substantiated. And that's going to be a very interesting point in time for the Bahamian people.
Okay. All right. And before you go, I think the issue here is more to do with money than where you are from. Right? Oh, he's gone. More to do with money. Wealthier Bahamians don't get treated the same way as less wealthy Bahamians. And I think it may be the perception that people from other countries, well, certain countries, might have some money, and so they're treated a little differently. I'm sure that is more of the contributing factor, if there is any evidence, if there is anything to suggest that may be what's going on here. So that's another story, and that's not good either. But let's hear from you. Caller, you're on the air.
Right. We have to be very careful when we're dealing with our guests.
Well, again, it depends on where they're from. It seems.
But what I'm saying is, look at it this way now. Suppose a group of them leave here disgruntled, organize a cruise ship back here, and they're walking down Bay Street with T-shirts on, who is politician number one in the front, and you're talking about 400 of them just crowd Bay Street, asking the question that Bahamians are afraid to ask.
That would get more of an impact than 400 Bahamians doing it?
Well, you would have MSN, NB, CBS, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because this, I'm just saying, if I were opposition leader...
Well, I don't think they'd care that much.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm just trying to compare the damage that would do to our reputation to the damage that we are currently doing by always talking about it and not getting any...
I mean, you could also stop dealing drugs and associating with drug dealers. That might be much easier than right? How about that?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. 323, that's a very simple way to prevent any of those issues. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Let's get to your text messages. This person says here, what is this? Oh, okay, BPL. Oh, I see. Okay, we're coming to that in just a bit. A lot of people angry about that, clearly. No, the investigation into a wider drug trafficking ring and routes via Colombian ties continues, and the reason why he's being detained. Okay, what's happening here? What are you saying? Not necessarily entrapment, but it seems like a kidnapping preceded by navigational jamming. Well, that's what he's saying. Not quite what the pilot said, but it does make for an interesting story. Or maybe we all watch too many movies. I don't know. Well, big question. The big question should be, why is a Bahamian citizen sitting up in U.S. jail without an indictment before the courts? One more call on this, and then we're going to move on. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Everybody like to say our reputation, right? I mean, I think we emphasize more of these things in our country than outside of the Bahamas. I mean, I don't condone nobody who thinking about any type of criminality. And if the law have the evidence to place them before the court, and they have their time in court, and they're convicted or innocent, I all for that. But we always talking about our reputation in the international community. Every country leadership, United States, who a lot of our people like to worship, they have a 34-count convicted felon as president. And look at all of the illegal stuff that he's being accused of doing. But we worship the United States like they is God. Our people need to stop, like you say, stop dealing drugs. But more importantly, if they don't have a market to sell the drugs to, we wouldn't have all of this problem. The United States is the major user of illegal narcotics in this part of the world. Our people need to, even some of our people who just buy the drugs and use the drugs, we have persons in our parliament who say they used to use drugs when they was younger. Wow. Were they criminals? Wow. Were they part of criminal organizations? They in the parliament? They used to use drugs. So if a person got convicted and served their time, and they come out and they decide to turn their life around, are we going to continue to condemn them for the rest of their life?
Okay. Interesting. That. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We will see. Let's read this as we go, as we change the topic. This person says here, whose reputation do we care more about, your own or your neighbor's? It depends. I think it's as simple a question as you think. But anyway, we'll continue to follow that story. We'll let you know how this goes. All right, so the big headline again in the National Guardian, NP rocked by blackouts. That's New Providence all over the island from Thursday. We were talking about this last week, of course, on the show, but it got worse over the weekend. Our Caitlin Babb writing about it. The growing pains continued on New Providence this weekend as dozens of communities were rocked with hours-long power outages. BPL, Bahamas Power Light, said the outages were due to an electrical malfunction at the Clifton Pier Power Station. The outages now occurring, the article says weekly, but this is daily, some places hourly. Daily basis have angered many residents who say they've lost appliances and food. Last week, Minister of Energy, Jo Beth Colby-Davis, advised residents to prepare for power interruptions as part of BPL's growing pains and acknowledged frustrations from consumers, promising that the government is working to bring relief. BPL began reporting outages on Thursday evening when consumers in the Market Street area, Palmetto Street, and surrounding areas lost power. Other areas affected on Thursday: Paradise Island, Blue Hill Road, West Bay Street, Sea Beach Estates. In 25, that is right, 25 statements, 25 different statements on its WhatsApp channel. Since Thursday, BPL informed consumers that Bahamas Grid Company was responding to the outages and conducting restoration efforts, confirming Friday that multiple areas, including Winton, Soldier Road, Blue Hill Road, Gladstone North, Gladstone South, Rocky Pine, and surrounding areas were offline. Sandyport, Coral Harbor, Lifer Key, Bahamar, Ocean Club were also affected. by Sunday, BPL announced that rotational power supply would be implemented in the fire trail areas. What's that? Shedding, as we're calling it now, rotational power supply. Rotational power supply. Wow. Let's get that mic up there. Yep. Good morning, Deandra.
Morning, Dwight.
Rotational power supply in the fire trail area and surrounding areas, including Golden Isles and Carmichael Road, to combat, here we go, quote, higher than anticipated peak load demand.
I'm sorry.
Let's just stop right there. You could end the show right there. Well, what is this supposed to mean?
What do you mean higher than anticipated?
It's
It's
June.
the summer months. We
June
know
in the
that this is going to
Bahamas.
happen. School just closed. We knew this was going to happen.
It's incredibly hot.
I don't understand. And then also, the first part of that demand increase. We know the usual would happen. So did we not prepare for this?
But again, the same stupidness last week about we're ready for the summer.
No, but that was going to be my main point when I was trying to get
every
the mic
year.
out,
I mean, why are we? I blame the media because there's no reason if a cabinet minister gets and says BPL's ready for the summer. I mean, file that in the classifieds if you must
but
print
Dwight, maybe it was we didn't understand what was meant by ready.
I didn't even want to understand.
Maybe it was something else.
Ready to turn off your power.
Ready to disappoint us again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
As
Perhaps that's what it
usual.
is.
I mean,
The thing
absolute
is that
nonsense.
people are paying. It ain't like you're getting power for free. I mean, maybe some people are getting power for free, but I don't know. We're paying for that. This is abuse.
It is abuse. And I do believe, especially the people in the Coral Harbor, Coral Lakes area, they've been off it seems like every day. There's no lawyer because the lawyers here are really very special individuals. But if somebody's willing to help file a class action lawsuit for these folks,
I don't know if it'll ever end, Dwight.
well, whatever. Somebody's got to do something.
No, that much is
Do
true.
something.
Something has to get done.
But everybody here wants a KC or to get on a board. So you're not going to see that. Anyway, higher than anticipated peak load demand on main transformer 1. Higher than anticipated. So we're like, wow, they're using AC like crazy. I never saw this before. Sure. Colby Davis, during a debate in the House on last week, during the budget, described peak summer demand as a season of maximum demand and minimum margin for error. Well, she said that added demand could strain sections of the energy network and increase the likeliness of interruptions as officials work essential foundational work.
So essentially, nothing has changed.
Same thing they could have,
A
a story
share
from
the year before,
1999.
the year before.
Colby Davis spoke following an outage on Cat Island that led to the island's Rake and Scrape Festival coming to a premature close.
Man.
Yeah, you heard about that?
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's their big thing.
One of their biggest festivals happening there, the Regatta, Rake and Scrape, that sort of thing. You know, that is for an entire event on a family island that's dependent on external funding to make something like that happen. That's an injection directly into the economy that was interrupted. Like, can we fully appreciate that as people who live on Nassau, New Providence, to understand what that means? That as paying Bahamians on a different island,
that's a mess.
That's something that directly contributes to your economy, potentially for the entire year, because we don't know how much the vendors would make. In any case, got shut down because you can't get power.
Perhaps folks here might not get how big a deal it is for them, but I think people here every day are having to experience this with their companies, their businesses, their elderly parents, children, having to sit through hours and hours of blackout. So I think everybody gets how awful a situation this is. So Colby Davis said last week the BPL had prepared for a peak summer demand across family islands, noting that New Providence, Abercorn and Luther are the islands that encountered the most electricity problems during summer months.
That's the islands that have the most problems when there's no summer.
All year round. She said that other islands, including Exua, Inagua, Andros, and Cat Island, are all prepared. Oh, boy. That doesn't sound good.
I feel like somebody's getting in trouble for this behind the scenes for perhaps falsely leading the minister to make such a statement. I don't know. I mean, that's just
You mean in a parallel universe?
I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out. We just said that last week when we experienced these things.
I feel like I'm reading from anyway.
But I thought, did we not get an additional generator? And there were some improvements, and I don't know, but then again, do we have access to the paperwork? No, we don't. Sorry.
We don't know anything. And then again, everything is Bahamas Grid now. Talk to them who aren't talking. So speaking to the Nassau Guardian yesterday, F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands expressed disappointment with the weekend's electricity failures. He said, quote, "We were promised lower electricity bills, and that didn't happen. We were promised more reliable service, and that didn't happen. We were promised transparency about the whole energy deal, and that didn't happen. The public is wondering what is going on with the energy infrastructure, our grid, our generation, transmission, and distribution. When you see communities that have outages for 12, 18, 24 hours, as we have seen over the last week." Yep, everybody is wondering. Very, very, very discouraging.
It's wild.
Let's hear from you. The phone lines are all lit up. We already have a lot of your text messages about this. Caller, let's hear from you. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning to you, Dwight. Good morning to you, Ms. Cartwright.
Hi.
Dwight, I told you about a decade ago that nothing will change in the power grid until he actually comes and tells you the truth. I don't know why. It's going to get worse, Dwight. You remember doing 2020, 21, 22, when I kept saying that by 2025, the acceleration of technology is going to put almost double our demand on the grid? Well, this is not like guessing, right? We need them to decode what they mean by resilient energy, because resilient is like supposed to already have an analysis for information of system designed to withstand, adapt to, and quickly recover from, listen to this word, unpredictable, high-impact energy disruption. The word is unpredictable. Everything that's happening on New Providence and soon on Grand Bahama is predictable, because you could generate as much energy you want. If the transmission and distribution is not adaptable to the new situations, nothing will change us. We need a smart grid infrastructure. And until the government brings you a reduction strategy, a financial strategy to pay for the legacy debt, and a financial strategy to pay for the system that we need on going forward. But the problem is, Dwight, if you tell the truth, you would find out, let me repeat, I used to tell you guys it's 1 billion and 1.5 billion, 2 billion right now. And guess what? My figures have always been correct. And I'm saying to you is that we can't tell the truth. You know why, Dwight and Ms. Cartwright are doing patchwork governance. So we never will know the full amount we need. So any amount they tell us is wonderful. What do we need for the energy grid? What do we need for education, for the plantation?
Yeah.
What do we need for government buildings? What do we need for everything? Because so what they tell us is it's a marketing of governance. 5-year celebrity with song by governance.
Okay. Seattle, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's take these calls quickly before we have to go to the news. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight and Ms. Cartwright.
Hi.
Yeah, Dwight. A fluttering lips is an abomination, Dwight. Right? And for the last, many of decades, right, all we was getting was nice-sounding ministers, right, saying absolutely nothing, man, right? Because, hey, some people need to step down, man, because, right, my light was off for every day for the last 4 days. Every day.
Wow.
This is what progress is. This is how our progress can be coming to us for the next 5 years. Because for all of the talks, this minister was talking about from the New Day, right? The New Day, it wasn't even all of that bad, maybe they need to go back there, because the New Day, the light them was still a little bit longer. But when we move close to the progress, man,
growing pains.
It's
growing pains. It's growing pains. Only
it's growing pain, and this pain is painful, man. It's
very painful. We must be. I think we're going to be Wemby height by the time it's over, with the amount of pain that people are feeling. But wow. All right, we got to go to the break, and we got to go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side, and there's a whole lot more to talk about in the papers today. A lot going on this Monday in the middle of June 2026. Morning Blend on Guardian Radio. We'll be right back.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:17, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got tropical moisture combined with a deep layered trough over the northern half of the country. That's going to support periods of showers and thunderstorms. Elsewhere, conditions will generally be stable, though cloudy, as upper level moisture continues to stream across the southern half of the country. Surface high, moderate to fresh breezes all over. So we're going to remain on the western edge of a broad Atlantic ridge, which will support hot, humid, and moderate to locally fresh breezes throughout the work week. Additionally, expect strong or spotty showers along with a few localized afternoon thunderstorms. That should continue for the next couple of days. For today, there is a slight risk of a few strong to severe thunderstorms over the northern half of the country. And the heat and UV indices, the UV index in the very high range today and the heat index in the triple digits. A slight to moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed beaches, especially in the southeast Bahamas. You're urged to exercise caution. And there's a moderate risk of flooding during low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall events. For the northern half of the country, everyone's being advised to exercise caution while in these areas. Coastal residents advise that there's a marginal risk of coastal flooding during evening high tides through to about Thursday. So for today, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds for the northern half of the country, becoming partly cloudy to cloudy by tonight. We've got a 30 to 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms for the northern half of the country today. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly cloudy today, becoming variably cloudy tonight with a 10 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. A higher chance of afternoon thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas today. It's going to be hot all around, no matter what. Highs around 90, 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. But the heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78, 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook, for Tuesday tomorrow, mostly cloudy to overcast for the extreme northern islands, partly cloudy for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, and a mix of sun and clouds for the southern half of the country, turning mostly fair at night. Still a slightly elevated chance for rain in the northernmost islands tomorrow. By Wednesday, most areas looking at partly sunny conditions, turning mostly fair at night, but the southeast Bahamas will see a mix of sun and clouds, turning mostly fair at night. And Thursday, that pattern should hold. And straight into Friday with a mix of sun and clouds. In the tropics, we're watching an area in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, a broad area of low pressure over the northwestern part of Mexico has about a 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 7 days. We'll keep an eye on that for you. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check. Weather Check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're looking to paint, your local Sherwin-Williams has what you're looking for. Top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save. Only at Sherwin-Williams. (8:21), time for a check of traffic brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Some schools are closed and others are closing, so things are looking better out on the streets in most areas, but we still have a number of hot spots. We've got Milo Butler Highway. That's still busy for you. Once you get north of Fire Trail, if you're heading northbound, you'll notice that on your way to the roundabout with Tony Williams Darling Highway. That area looking congested there. You've got traffic in multiple directions. You've got westbound on Tony Williams Darling Highway, southbound on New Providence Highway, and some slow-moving traffic east and west of the roundabout heading into Harold Road there. Over on Blue Hill Road, busy for you as well. Some slow-moving northbound traffic just north of St. Vincent Road, and especially as you get closer to Carmichael and Soldier Road. If you're heading northbound, you'll see that all the way up to Independence Drive. And East Street South, northbound traffic there, slow-moving as well. North and south of the Soldier Road intersection, that's going to take you straight into Robinson Road if you're heading northbound, north of the East-West Highway roundabout. And on the other side of Robinson Road, looking not as bad as it normally looks, but some slow-moving traffic there from Prince Charles heading into that thoroughfare, heading up to Marathon East-West Highway. Those are your hot spots. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert. NUA Insurance agents and brokers. Whether you prefer a face-to-face chat or handling things online, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come?
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan and DeAndre Cartwright.
I thought we were going to go back in time and be like, bringing you the hits from...
I think the power used to go off less in the 90s than it's going off these days.
This is true. I don't remember.
No, it used to go off a lot. But it feels like it's less.
Oh.
Less frequently.
I mean, that would explain why some of the stuff when I got back home was not good in my fridge. I didn't like that.
You mean this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? Like, this is a whole, like, new jug of milk, not touched everything. I'm like, oh my, chunk, what? Like, so I had to, like, throw out so much things.
I can't tell you the rationale as to why we played that just now, but blackouts, the sun, it's hot, you're in a black hole but it's hot, sun. I'm sure that's not what that song's about, but
yeah.
But
at the same time, people be safe out there, triple digits today, so you want to stay hydrated,
and
cool.
pray
as
to
much
God
as you
the
can.
power isn't going off somewhere today.
No, but some people don't have a choice but to be working outside either as well. So it's like, take care of yourself while you're out there. Make sure you're covered. Wear your sunblock, but also hydrate. And if you're outside, then just be a little bit more intentional about how you hydrate. I'm not a medical professional, so not giving you direct advice here, but check with yours just to make sure that you get what you need.
Wow. Let's get to your messages. A lot of people upset about what has been happening with BPL again. That's a lot, that WhatsApp channel.
But
that
then
is,
BPL
that
say it
is-
ain't that much other people.
Sure. Well, we don't know who they are. So until we know who they are, we got to blame BPL.
Oh, boy.
They certainly aren't talking. They're refusing to talk. Bahamas Grid Company. So, and so are the unions. I mean, nobody's talking. So, whatever. We're just in the middle, in the black hole.
Consumer, we don't matter.
No, we're all alone. And,
This is
we're
Monopoly.
on
Who else
our
could we
own.
go to?
Yeah, this texter says here, Dwight, 100 million in generator power. I watched the BPL WhatsApp update and prepared for my rotation, but they call it progress. It's crazy. Cat Island is not prepared. All weekend we had power cuts. This weekend gone, too? We had one no longer than 10 minutes ago. That's Cat Island.
Listen, I remember being on Cat Island a while back and it being quite terrible with the power cuts. The Luther, same thing. Our family islands have been going through a lot. But for it to also be happening on New Providence is wild. Like, absolutely wild. Well, I guess we're all one now.
Yes, I was going to say, at least they don't treat anyone better than anybody else. It's all bad treatment for everybody. This texture says here, our problem is we fail to see the signs. We agitate when we're in the middle of the crisis. The leading indicators for the BEC failure were there from February or March, and one could argue from the moment Pike pulled out of the 25-year agreement. But again, is that correct to say it?
I was wondering when somebody is going to mention that this is happening because Pike left.
But they haven't. They haven't left. But what has changed? What has changed?
They leave.
Has
I
anything
was waiting for
changed?
somebody to say.
Oh, you mean just to say it? We still call it BEC anyway. Okay. Undercapitalized.
These people, do I behave?
Like the top-notch PPP, which was solvent solely based on the government funding.
What is PPP?
Public-private partnership. And collapsing in the absence of them. My belief is that BPL's cash flow issues post-initial revenue injection are now revealing themselves. The plan, again, my belief, was not realistic and was likely the cause of the Pike pullout from the 25-year partnership. To vendor, no professional with options accepts work conditions 100% guaranteed for failure. I don't feel sorry for Bahamians. This is what they voted for. Nothing ever changes, just a bunch of talk. Wow, okay. We aren't listening to C. Allen in Grand Bahama because he said our electricity bill wouldn't go down, which was false. Please tell him, save his advice for whenever the F&M comes back to power in about 20 years. Did you already get your bill? Did you already get your bills? You know what's going on? Yeah? Okay. This person says here, the energy minister is, oh boy, I'm editing, is more of a cheerleader in the House of Assembly, and rather than being honest about the state of electricity, always wants to put on a show.
I don't think that's fair.
Really?
Cheerleader, say, I mean.
Okay. Listening to you talking about power outages in Nassau, well, the power just went off in central and south of Eleuthera. Some progress. Yikes.
Maybe we could start doing that, Dwight, like a sound off at the beginning of the week. How many outages have you experienced over the weekend? And as of Monday, who all doesn't have electricity? That's Cat Island, that's Eleuthera. Who else?
I don't want to be a part of that. That's very depressing.
No?
I couldn't, no.
Y'all heard it. He said he don't want no depressing things.
I mean, that's
growth, Dwight. That's growth for you.
Is it progress? That's too depressing. That would be too much, and that would be we'd run out of time for anything else. And just be talking about outages. This person says, "Yeah, we want to hear more of the black hole sun. That's synonymous to the Bahamas." Yikes!
What?
That's sad. That's very sad. Wow. But I do like that song. I remember it as a teenager in the '90s. Regardless of whatever, do you even know that song?
Which one is it?
That we just played.
It sounded familiar, but I don't think it's a song that I know it to be. It has to sound like what the Cherry Band was called, and then
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Is that you talking?
No. It's like a one hit, like an indie band. Yeah. It had.
I mean, I don't think they had many hits. Soundgarden.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't recognize that one. So when you was
biggest
asking, I was like, I don't know that one.
I don't think you do.
But no, Dwight, you remember in the night, I wouldn't have been.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I would be surprised if you do know it. Regardless of whatever the arrangement is between BPL and BGC, the public should have one point of contact for information on power. BPL.
That's what they say BPL is.
Yeah, BPL is the power generator and the power supplier. I don't know if was that correct? Transmission and distribution are now under BGC. What does BPL do? Anyway, they should be the one accounting to the public, not handing it off to BGC, but they keep doing that. BGC needs to account to BPL. This continual appearance of passing the buck is disheartening and unprofessional. You better say that again. This is a leadership issue that's communicated by the government and sat down as a standard to move forward. I can't read that text. But hey, it's sad.
Lots of sad things happening.
It's very sad, and I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna check their WhatsApp page to see if anything's happening.
Oh, which one?
BPL. Which
You know they have separate pages, yeah?
BPL has separate?
Yes, they do. Because, northern region, southern region, things like that. So if I want to see something specific for Long Island, I go to the southern region.
Oh, I see.
Just to keep an update on there. Same thing with water and sewage. Shout out to them because I finally got online for that because I try to share direct updates with my Long Island folks on what's going on. Like, for instance, Long Island will be experiencing water outages from after 9 o'clock every night until 6 a.m. for capacity renewal, I think is what they're calling it.
Oh my.
So, yeah, BPL, again, going to the south, they sent out a notice this morning at 8:22 to say that, that they had an issue from 3:29 yesterday.
BPL.
Yes. This is the southern region. Again, I'm biased.
This was posted 8-something this morning?
8-something this morning. They had something yesterday at 8:13, so 8:13 a.m. So that's Exuma. So Exuma also lost power today from Ramsey to Baratari. No restoration window is available.
My goodness.
Power restored at 7:21, so that was pretty cool. They got there quickly. Exuma they got them back on pretty quickly.
Well,
but they were out from last night, though.
So there were a whole lot of messages yesterday for New Providence because there was a lot happening. But the last thing was 11 o'clock last night with
on the general
Coral Road West.
Let me see.
Coral Road West, but
I see. Carmichael Road, Fire Trail,
they've been
Golden
getting
Isles, Victoria Garden. This is a lot.
It's been rough for them. And if you don't hear from the minister speaking last week in the House, was the first time an official said anything other than the BPL WhatsApp pages, but you don't hear anybody else.
This is a trend though, Dwight, because I forget when there were different persons in place over at BPL, we also didn't hear very much from them publicly. I think, again, as a matter of transparency for the public, we need to have regular updates. And again, cheers to putting those things on the WhatsApp channel so people can follow that. But at the same time, we are a very small country. We are people-centric. Yeah. We want to see and hear. And it's also about taking accountability.
Absolutely.
But again, if we don't know who is taking account,
Again, they're passing the buck. But what's also interesting to me is that we just had an election, none of your elected officials are saying anything. Of course, most of them are in the cabinet, and I guess that means they're more loyal to them than they are to us. So don't hold your breath for any of your elected officials, other than those in the opposition, I guess, to say something about the torture that their own supporters are going through. But that's just how we do it here. That's how we like it. And so I hope you out there campaigning for those folks, that was worth it, because they won't speak for you again until 5 years from now. But oh well. All right. So very quickly, before we move on, there are a couple other stories in the paper we want to get to. So just thought about this yesterday. Remember this in Bimini? The boy who was shot by his brother accidentally? Yeah. So an interesting story in the Tribune today. Boy in shooting accident is school's top achiever. The 12-year-old boy accused of accidentally shooting his 8-year-old brother in the head has graduated as Bimini school's top achiever, thanking the community for its prayers as his younger sibling continues recovering in a Miami hospital. Nearly 3 weeks after the May 23rd shooting, 8-year-old Duran Saunders is out of intensive care, moving and under therapy and preparing to begin speech therapy. Oh boy, he's got to start all over. That's according to his grandfather, Lloyd Edgecombe, speaking to them on Sunday. The developments are the latest for families still grappling with the shift. One child hospitalized overseas, sent another into court-ordered psychological therapy, and resulted in criminal charges against their father. During his graduation speech at Gateway Christian Academy, the 12-year-old thanked the community for its thoughts, prayers, and encouragement during what he described as a difficult season for him and his parents. This is, wow. He was met with loud cheers when he took the stage to receive his recognition. So the grandfather said the family was proud of the boy's achievement, particularly given the ordeal they had endured, saying, quote, "We feel real good about that, especially during the turbulent time for the family. They're not bad boys, and the accident was an unfortunate thing. He came home and graduated, and he went back to Freeport the following day because he has 6 weeks of therapy." A magistrate ordered the boy to undergo 6 weeks of psychological therapy in Grand Bahama. After that, a decision will be made on how to proceed with the matter. His father, Dexter Durrell Saunders, has been charged with child cruelty and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger the child's life. Duran was airlifted to a Miami hospital after his brother shot him in Bimini. The grandfather, who traveled to Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, said his grandson is no longer in the ICU but making encouraging progress. He said he has not spoken yet.
Oh, boy.
But doctors expect him to begin speech therapy soon. Grandfather saying, I guess they call him Ranny. Ranny is a little fighter. That's my boy. Oh. He's out of the woods, but he has a lot of therapy to do. He's moving, getting up, and all the other things, so that's good. He's at the Jack Nicklaus Hospital. He was in the ICU, but he's out of ICU now, and he's progressing pretty well. We're really pleased and thank God because, that could have gone another way. Edgecombe says the family's been buoyed by support from Bimini and beyond. Donations have poured in for him. There's a GoFundMe page as well. So far, they've raised over $61,000, but they're trying to reach a $100,000 goal.
I can imagine just the cost of moving the child, the surgeries, speech therapy. It's a lot.
Very, very sad. Wow. There is another story in the Tribune today, and I think everyone needs to read this one. This is based on a ruling on June 11th from the Privy Council. And so government liable for unlawful detention and rape of a woman. So the highest court of appeal has confirmed the Bahamian government is liable for the unlawful arrest and detention of a young mother who was raped and sexually assaulted by a senior immigration officer while in In dismissing a final appeal by the Office of the Attorney General, the Minister and Director of Immigration and the Commissioner of Police, the Privy Council in London ruled Thursday that the authorities were vicariously liable for the crimes committed against Claudia Edwards Bethel because, having been detained unlawfully, she was in protective custody when they occurred. All that remains is for a ruling on the level of damages payable to her family. Edwards never got to see her fight for justice vindicated. She died at Princess Margaret Hospital in May 2021, one day after giving birth to her fourth child. She was just 35 at the time. Her mother, Valerie Thompson, yesterday telling the Tribune that, quote, "I thank the Lord. I'm so joyful. I'm very, very happy. And Claudia would be very, very happy. She will be smiling down from heaven and finally getting justice." So just going to read a little bit of this, but you all need to read this for yourselves. On Thursday, the Privy Council in London ruled that the state was responsible for everything Senior Immigration Officer Norman Bastien did to her because she was at all times a detained person in the custody of an immigration officer who was purporting to exercise the powers of his office. As counsel for the estate put it, Bastien never took off his metaphorical uniform. The board found that the arrest was unlawful from the very first moment. The police had no reasonable cause to suspect Edwards of any immigration offense. She was dressed for work. Behind the bar where she worked was plainly distinguishable from the other scantily dressed women at the bar and had produced a copy of her spousal permit before she was arrested, if necessary. Wow. So Human Rights Bahamas President Stephanie St. Fleur saying the judgment is a triumph for Claudia Bethel and her family and a disgrace for the authorities who failed her. So just a little bit of background. Edwards was arrested in the early hours of Saturday, December 13th, 2014, when police raided the Twilight Bar in New Providence and detained a group of Jamaican women, including Bethel and a bartender. So again, Claudia Edwards Bethel. They're going back between Edwards and Bethel. But she'd been married to a Bahamian citizen since 2010 and showed officers a copy of her spousal permit issued by the Immigration Department itself, proving her lawful right to remain in the Bahamas. Despite that, she was arrested, told only that it was for immigration purposes, and was never charged with an offense. She was held at the Central Police Station and then at the Carmichael Road Detention Center over the entire weekend, supposedly pending verification of a permit that could not be verified because the immigration office was closed. On Monday, December 15th, Senior Immigration Officer Bastien lied to his supervisor to obtain custody of Edwards, falsely implying that a female immigration officer would accompany them. He then drove her around New Providence before taking her to his home, where he raped her, detained her overnight, sexually assaulted, and raped her again the following morning. It was said that Edwards Bethel she had a fear of immigration authorities generally and was also afraid of Bastien. He had indicated to her that he had a licensed firearm and that a very bad man known as Death was his nephew. At trial, the judge accepted Edwards' evidence that she repeatedly asked to go home to her 3 children and was refused, finding that Bastien misused and abused his authority as a senior immigration officer. Edwards also waived her, again, I don't know why they're going back and forth with Edwards and Bethel, waived her right to an anonymity, claiming that Bastien raped her and forced her to commit oral sex after lying in wait for her in his bed, naked, within hours of finally being returned home on Tuesday. She went to the police. This was December 16th. Reported the rapes and was handed over physical evidence. Bastien's attorney, Wayne Monroe, now the Attorney General, sought to poke holes in certain aspects of her story, asserting that the whole narrative stemmed from her fear of immigration status, her immigration status in the country, and the evidence concerning the date she said she arrived in the Bahamas, as well as where she lived at the time. And at the time she got married to her Bahamian husband, I think this is supposed to say. So it's a lot more in there, but the Privy Council making their ruling, and you can find that ruling as well and read it for yourself. It's quite something, and we wait to see the damages that are going to be awarded here. But you can find the ruling for yourself, read it for yourself, jcpc.uk, and look for it. Look up Bahamas. Will be one of the more recent cases that just happened on Thursday.
That's some heavy stuff, Dwight.
Wow. We got to take a break. We'll be back. Yeah, we do. We'll get into some happier stuff when we return. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Walking sleep in my youth, I pray to keep heaven send hell away. No one sings like you anymore. Black hole sun, won't you come?
Guess who's back?
It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scootery Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hopes instead of guns. Game time.
Wake up and cash in with Everybody Wins Live. For the entire month of June, every purchase made between 6 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. at participating stores gives you a chance to win exciting prizes. Surprise will qualify for our early bird morning spend. Catch those early hours, play big, and have a shot to win even bigger in the month of June. More hours, more fun, and more opportunities to win. Only at Everybody Wins Live, where the early bird always wins. Terms and conditions apply. Remember to game responsibly.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola are giving you the chance to experience the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, July 3rd through 5th. Upgrade any premium lunch combo to a large with the Coke product for your chance to win. Win cash prizes, travel vouchers, or the grand prize, a VIP trip for two to Essence Fest. Grab a Dave Single, Asiago Ranch, Chicken Club, or 3-piece tenders combo today. Eat big, sip Coke, win big with Wendy's and Coca-Cola. Rules and restrictions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Are your windows and doors really impact resistant? Will they really help during hurricanes? Will they help protect and secure your family and home? It has to be right. If you're building from scratch, adding on, or renovating, insist on using only quality products. Insist on using a company that has been protecting Bahamians since 1999. Insist on using a company with over 25 years experience in hurricane protection. Insist on a company that is present and accessible to you. Insist on storm frame windows and doors.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
But you know where to they say today be strong, tomorrow will be long. To the ones who stand for the Father, I need advice. Must my heart be cold as ice? Will the people follow me?
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, Deandra Carvey. We're having a very interesting moment in the studio. But we are talking about the Boys and Girls Club of the Bahamas Father, Children, and Family Fun Day. Father's Day is Sunday coming. And the Boys and Girls Club of the Bahamas has something very special planned. Here to tell us all about it, I'm very pleased to welcome back Bishop Sam Roll and Brendan Folks. Great to have you all with us. But we also have from the Public Workers Credit Union, Nika Delancey, and we have from the Bahamas Towing and Salvage Association, D'Amico Williams. Good morning, everybody. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So where do we begin? Bishop and Brendan, though you're here often, but remind folks of the Boys and Girls Club of the Bahamas is all about. And then we'll get into this event this weekend.
Well, good morning once again to all our listening audience. The Boys and Girls Club is a mentoring program that we foster relationship with them and their fathers and their peers, especially our boys. It's a mentor that we discipline them, our motivation and communication, and try to show that love to each man and young boys. And I always use this quote from the late Dr. Miles Monroe. He always said, a man need a man in his life. And that is to mentor them in the way they ought to be. And I know our host, Dwight, could attest to that of his beloved nephew. Mm-hmm. Nephew was a part of our boys' club. And today he is a proud young man. And I'm proud to, by God's grace, to have my hand a part of his life. And so this coming Saturday at Aaron Bailey Park from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., our Father and Children Family Fun Day, where we'll have a car show, a motorbike show, a grill competition. We're going to have everything out there. Yes, we can be popping the motorbike. Oh, wow. We have the Platinum Riders, Friends of Distinction, going to be out there. We have the Bahama Knights is going to be out there. Listen, we have the tow trucks and the wreck is going to be out there. We have the crane truck is going to be the dump truck. The four-wheeler is going to be out there. Listen, it's going to be spectacular. Listen, I can't wait. Can't wait to be on Saturday. The rain will hold up. We're going to have the grill competition. We have the bouncing castle, the domino, the checkers. And then also, Dwight, we have anyone, I'm throwing this out now, anyone child that could beat Mr. Rule shooting marble. Between Brandon Folks and Mr. Williams, they'll give them $50 to $100. If you could beat me shooting marble, I already have me 80 marbles. I have my gubby, I have my steely.
I was just going to ask where the guppy is.
I have that. Yes, I have my gubby.
Now, what type marble is it? Just want to make sure.
The glass marble, whatever marble you want to shoot with. And you say you could beat me.
Really? You did?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I got creamy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's why I'm asking. I just want to make sure.
Oh, you can be out there? You can be out there?
So what time is that challenge? What time is that competition?
That challenge is going to be up around 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to win the court.
And you tell you what, if you can beat you, how much you get?
$100. $50. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we playing for takes. You know, land we taking. And we starting from 10 marbles go up. We having a big circle. If you could beat me shooting marble, you get $100.
All right, so don't throw the marbles at me. But are people still playing marbles?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I haven't seen anybody shoot marbles in decades.
I have plenty marbles. We have plenty marbles. Because why? The kids, when I go to the school with them, they say, Mr. Rowe, we're going to shoot marble today. And they shoot marble. It's a fun. They love it. Yes.
Well, you know, Dwight, this is what it's all about. You know, we're trying to reignite some of the old school things we did, Ms. Cartwright, Mr. Lancey, Brother Williams. You know, when you come out with some Psalm for God, we're going to have God's willing. We can get it on there. Pool table is very heavy.
Oh, wow.
We're getting a special tent. So right out in the open, free of charge, Mr. Lancey, you come out there and shoot pool with us on Saturday. It's all about the celebration of boys and men. Obviously, we now girls club as well. So we invite the entire family, but the focus is like Dwight said, on the heel of Father's Day. And you know, we all know that this is where the nation have a little challenge with our youth, our young men. And we're trying to mentor them. And this is just going to be a fun-filled afternoon, man. And you know, young boys like cars, they like motorbike.
Yeah, you got everything
They like records, they like anything with a motor and wheels. And of course, Mr. Williams from the Records, Allied Workers Records Association, eh?
Yes,
Towing and
salvage. Yeah,
Towing and salvage.
What are we going, Ms. Cartwright? We what?
Pull and provide.
Pull and provide.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just come up with a new slogan for his.
We're gonna work on that.
We gonna work on that. You and I. We can work on that, Lady Cartwright. Yeah, it'd be
So, D'Amico Williams, when last you played marbles?
Not for a long time.
You remember how?
I can shoot marbles. Yes, I can. But I'm more of a fisherman. I like to fish. So
that's the one thing you're not doing on Saturday. You're not fishing.
No.
Next year.
But you know, there's a little pond that don't put nothing past Sam, you know.
Between fishing and shooting the pool and stuff like that. I'm good at marbles, but I play for a long time, so I can't challenge him.
Right.
Now, anybody, like he said, anybody coming out there, challenge him. Well, one from Mr. Folks and one from me.
Okay.
That's 50 from me and 50 from Mr. Folks.
Okay. All right.
And we will back Mr. Rule. We are so happy, the Towing Association is so happy to actually partner with the Girls and Boys Club initiative that they're doing, which is a very good thing. And they haven't done it from 2019. So we are so happy to be back with them and make it a constant yearly thing, annual thing. And the initiative that they're doing, him and Mr. Folks, is so great to actually get kids and family and fathers and stuff together, try to push the initiative of just not everyone thinking that the man is so brutal and so rough, but to try to show the nurturing side of the man, you understand? And having fathers and kids and stuff together. So all of this, we are so happy to partnership with them. And of course, everybody loves to see a nice, pretty truck wrecker with the lights and whatever else. So all of that will be out there, and we will be out there in good numbers.
Excellent.
And Mr. Williams talk about partnership, and we're so pleased that we have the Public Workers Union partnering with us. And this morning we have Ms. Delancey, Nika Delancey. And Ms. Nika, child, teach us how to be financially solvent and put all our finance together.
Yeah, tell us about that. Tell us about the partnership and what you're going to be doing. Where do you fit in with
we
this?
We would love to take part in this coming Saturday at the Boys and Girls Club event that they're having. We want to also be there to help men learn how to save and how to teach those young boys at a young age to start saving, because that's what our country's lacking right now, financial literacy. So we'll be more than happy to partner with them and be a part of whatever they have going on in the near future as well.
Thought you were going to say you're offering financing to buy a
Well,
bike,
definitely.
buy a bike or a wrecker or something out there.
We could be there, and if you need a loan for that,
Oh, yeah?
we'll be there,
Okay.
and we'll also
All
be
right.
there if you need some savings towards
There you-
that, because
okay.
a lot of persons don't want to get a loan. They probably want to save. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to that as well.
And then also, Dwight, we have in Public Hospital Authority is going to be there also too. We have the police band is going to be there, the defense force band, the prison band, all is going to be on site. Listen, this is going to be so awesome.
It sounds big.
Because, listen, I met Mr. Lancy's staff at the Ryan Markfield School. And you know me, they was doing something, and I hooked them right up. And so, listen, the whole idea is to foster a relationship, teaching us as men and young boys how to save.
All right.
And so we're going to work this thing, man. We're going to work this.
But Bishop, I mean, the flyer says it's only one day, but all the things you're talking about clearly,
All this happened in one day.
One day.
But Dwight, you know, you're onto something, and I think Brother Williams alluded to this. You know, we the last one we did was 2019, just before pandemic, and it's going to be an annual affair. And I think maybe it needs to be span over a weekend.
The whole weekend.
I think you're correct,
a lot
because
of
it's just
stuff.
so much, and it's good, healthy things going on.
Because
All
we
right?
haven't even talked about the grill competition.
No.
I mean,
Calvin
what-
Green
We have
is
to talk about that, please.
Yeah, what's tell us about that? How's that working?
The grill competition, we have a group of young men from New Covenant, some other on the Lord's Association. They come in, they're going to grill their meat.
And you're grilling too.
They grilling their meat also, and
What's that
it's a
meat?
competition. They start at I think it's 12 o'clock they're going to start grilling. And then the judges will judge them meat. They have steak, chicken, fish.
Three entrees. Three entrees
Chicken.
going to be judged. 3 entrees. This is a real judges?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Now,
So-
hold on. Listen careful. Watch this now. So here it is. Calvin Green, you listening. You listen, Calvin Green. We're going to add another beautiful lady to this grill competition as a judge. Okay?
Clock it.
And Dwight said he coming to there also because Dwight ain't know how to shoot marbles. And so what we're going to do,
I mean,
we're gonna
I did not say that.
We're going to give
Although
Dwight...
it might be true, but I did not say that.
Ben, listen. We're going to give Dwight about, Miss Murphy Brown, we're going to give Dwight about 100 marbles.
To start with.
To start. Now, that's the start. Now, see, what we can do is that we can put him on camera.
Oh, no.
And we can say, we take pictures if he lose.
I would suggest you give him 20.
Game 20.
It wouldn't look good for him to lose 100 marbles.
That would be terrible.
Now, if he have 20, he would say, okay, well, I had a bad
that's fine.
start.
Yeah, that's bad start.
So we can give him 20 marbles.
20 marbles.
All right, we can give him 20 marbles, and the rest he have to do what he have to do.
Wow.
And we can give him a Gubby or Steely to see what. Okay, that sounds like a plan.
All right.
So here it is. The grill competition gonna be awesome. What
it's
it
gonna be
is
judged.
that the persons to use as a fundraising event for them to get more support of their men and children out. Listen, parents, if you want a good, fun, clean event. This Saturday, the whole park belongs to the Boys and Girls Club of the Bahamas. Listen, we just want to do this to foster the relationship with our kids, our men. Although they're going to be cooking some crab and right for some Father's Day, but I ain't sure about that. But Dwight, we got to work on
Dwight,
that.
what do you want to do? You know R.M. Bailey, right, Brother Williams, Ms. Delancey, Lady Cartwright, right? I know you all know on Mother's Day, right? R.M. Bailey Park is inundated, right? Look at Nika. Look at Nika, man. Look at Nika. Inundated with the Mother's Day stuff. We want to
just one crab pen. That's all. That's all they have. No, that's it.
That's it. But we want to show them that we could do this.
All right. So will the public get to eat the grill competition
Yes,
food?
yes, sir.
And there will be other stalls as well.
Yes, plenty other stalls can be out there. Miss Bristol from Beaches and Park.
Oh, please.
She done,
Thank you,
she
Miss Bristol.
done have everything sorted out for the clearance of the park. Everything's going to be good and standing. With that, listen, we can be in good shape.
I got a question though. 'Cause
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hear about grill stuff and whatnot. Thank you so much for the invitation to be a judge. Clearly, I like food. But I ain't hearing nothing about no sweet stuff. You having any? What else could be out there? to eat?
Listen, we can keep things as a secret a little bit.
Oh.
Because we know y'all go. We ain't saying nothing. It can be a secret. Whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm challenging you on the hoopla table also.
Oh, the
It
hoopla.
can be- What?
Dwight, you remember
Listen,
the old punch board?
ahead of
You
time
remember
for
the old
that
punch
domino
board
game,
with
right?
the wind up?
So,
you wind
hold
up
on.
the,
You can beat
the
this.
secret thing,
And listen.
you put it in a pegboard.
I don't know how to
We're gonna
play
go back to
domino.
those.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And listen, it
I was
can
gonna
be
say
fun.
dominoes is a big thing now.
Domino,
And people,
checkers,
really-
backgammon, everything's going to be out there on Saturday, right? Listen, I know the song a whole lot. We got the space, we got the people out there. It can be packed.
And it's for a
we
good
got-
cause.
Good cause.
Yeah,
we have
good
our
cause.
DJs going to be out there. So
Yes.
around 2
Select
o'clock.
mode, man. Select mode.
Yes, at 2 o'clock, the police band will be there. Bang-a-lang, dang, dang, dang. Listen, we can have fun.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot. That's because we want the family to come out. Come out, let's support one another. And it's a worthy cause because, you know, our kids, they're looking for something positive to be involved in and to work themselves. That's what we're looking for. That's correct. You know, so parents, listen, send your kids out. But guess what? When you send them out, please send them out with a little couple dollars in their pocket because food is going to be out there. The popcorn can be out there. The cotton candy is going to be out there. We even got the Scout Association is going to be out there. The coconut tart, them going to be out there.
you told her you keeping that as a
they talk,
secret, man.
they talk
Wow.
to me to keep some. But Ms. Carter already looking at me and looking in the air.
And licking your lips.
Ah!
All right, I want you to respond to this text, though, especially Brendan. Boy, the advocacy of mentoring the youth. I applaud you for your efforts. I am but I am challenged, I guess, to try and say, by you endorsing the motorcycle and four-wheelers as part of their program. The motorcyclers and four-wheelers are some of the most lawless, defiant of law to the laws of people on our streets. Maybe you should reconsider that. What do you say to that?
We don't need to reconsider. I'm a biker boy. I just came back from a road trip. 11 biker Bahamian men from a road trip from New Orleans, through Louisiana, through Alabama, through the Panhandle to Orlando, 4 days on the road on Harley Davidson motorbikes.
But you're a Harley guy. These people saying these Honda boys are terrorizing us. What do you say about that?
The caller and the text writer is correct. They are a nuisance, okay? On the street popping. That's just not the right environment to do that. We have to figure out, it's a talent, Miss Cartwright. It's a talent for a fella to go up on one wheel and just holding that thing in one hand. That's a talent, that's a skill. But we have not figured how to harness that talent.
Wow.
That's our issue. And this issue with all of our young men. We have not harnessed them. My brother, that's the wrong place to be doing that. But you have a skill. Let's take that to a private location where we can, one day that young man could be on BMX internationally in the U.S.
Even be in the Olympics.
It's correct,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so we need to figure that out. And the text is correct, yes, they are a nuisance, absolutely. But there are some known things about biking, defensive riding, etc. And so we need to help them. My group, along with Platinum Riders, and I keep getting the other group that's very organized, and we talk to Lancy. We ride with safety. The Platinum Riders, if a rider is caught on his bike without boots and gloves, the next meeting he gets fined.
Oh wow.
No, not serious. We take biking. We're not talking about the rogues and those who are going sideways, etc. And to the young men who are listening to us, that is not a good thing. We spoke, Brother Williams, about the young man on a slippers on a scooter, and when he crashed, he lost 2 of his toes.
Wow.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, I'm serious. Absolutely. You felt that right, Mr. Lansing? That's just not right. I had a little incident on the weekend on my bike.
Whoa.
Right here, you all can see it. I know you can't see it because
It's painful though.
Yeah, I had an incident. Thank God I had my helmet, my gloves, and I had on good dicky pants and good shoes. Other than that, I just took off my jacket. D'Amico, I tell my daughter, hold my jacket. If I had my jacket on, I wouldn't even have this.
Right.
I had a little spill. Nothing serious.
So coming out, they can fellowship with guys like you and learn more
And we
about
want
what
them
to do and what not
Please,
to
to
do.
the text writer, send them to us, my
Yeah.
brother. Send them down to Mr. Folk. Send them to me. Send them to me.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We also gonna have the Bahamas Hot Rod Association. We got the Honda Boys is gonna build the Civic Association. That's a civic, little small little cars. All of them gonna build there. Listen, I know the song a lot, but
You said R. Bailey Park?
Bailey Park.
Did R. Bailey take over
R.
the
Bailey
mall
Park.
too? I mean, how you can get all this
Listen,
out there?
By God's grace, we can see if we can wake it up. Because you have the maritime group, they get the trailer heads, all of them, the Queen truck, all of them gonna be the.
You have an underground bunker. Maybe.
Boy, listen, it can be something because everybody want to be a part of it, and we didn't want to turn on them. So you can imagine the towing association and the records.
Well, at least
That's the
if you don't have enough
flatbed
space,
and
they
the
can
record.
tow some people away.
Yeah,
Right.
then we just gonna have fun with everybody. And so we just inviting everybody, listen, come out, let's be a part. You can hear the music. You're going to have everything is going to be out there on the Aaron Bailey Park.
All right, great stuff. Running out of time, so Nika Delancey, just remind folks how we can find you if we not on just Saturday, but usually at the Public Workers Credit Union.
So we are located on Wolf Road, opposite the Great Commission. Everyone should know where Great Commission is. So we right opposite that. It's a 2-story blue building, and our numbers are 323-6594, Freeport 335-17129.
Okay, and D'Amico Williams, tell us about the Bahamas Towing and Salvage Association, how we can find you.
Well, you can call our number. It is 456-0689. That's our number. I want to give a shout out to all of my great members and the board of directors. I have 3 ladies on that who are very excellent and keep me in line, because ladies are the backbone behind the man. And like Mr. Folks was saying, sometimes we try to make sure that people try to be safe and do things in safety. So we try to push for safety. Also, I want you to make it clear that we will not be towing you unless you are parked wrong. The mall is right across the road.
Right.
You go over there and park over there. So if you park in the road or you're blocking someone, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Don't blame
Keep that
me.
in mind on Saturday. It's going to
Keep
be a
that
lot
in
of people
mind.
out
Just
there.
find a good parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also are partnering, Dwight, with the Bahamas Hot Rod Association. You know, that entity, again, like the text writer indicated, with, fast cars that are speeding and burning tires all over the place. That entity, we're partnering with them. They're about racing in a safe environment right here on Oaksfield.
Right.
We got the tracks, which most people commonly refer to as coming to the tracks. Dawn Aroner, myself, and Uric Dean were responsible for that when we were racing on the other side, just going up and down. Now they have a full facility. We want to thank Mr. Branton DeVoe. Brandon DeVoe.
Yes.
Goit Knowles from Dozer. Yeah, one of the founding fathers back in the day racing. So this whole racing car thing, bike thing, it's exciting for us. This is what men.
Yeah, this sounds very, very exciting.
I want to join. I've never ridden a bike, but I want to join.
People text and say this sounds like a heck of a lot of fun.
Listen, and the thing about it, Dwight, the Bahamas Hot Rod Association, they say they're bringing out 10 cars. 10 cars. The anti-auto club,
Right.
they bringing out 10 cars also.
Okay.
So you can imagine you got the Honda boys. All right, you got all these other rest of vehicles can be out there. Listen, this can be something. And all the motorbike, Bahama Night Friends of Distinction, all the platinum riders can imagine, all the motorbike, everybody out there. Listen, all I can say, Ms. Catherine, come on. That's all we can say, come on. And we can show you what time it is.
And make sure I bring those marbles, eh?
Bring the marbles. Bring the marbles. All right, one more time, people know how they can reach you with the Boys and Girls Club of the
My
Bahamas.
telephone number is 395-9026 or 829-7365, or you can reach Brandon folks at 357-7028.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. Call us and listen. We can be a part of what all you want to be a part of what we are doing. Listen, just contact us, and I guarantee you, and we will have fun. And if you can't reach me, you can just call Brandon folks, and I guarantee you that number once again, 357-7028. Or 395-9026 or 829-7365. We'll be standing by. Bring the kids out. Let's have some good fun. The pool and table can be out there. And we challenging anybody. Miss Cartwright, Mr. Lance, if y'all believe y'all can shoot pool, hallelujah. Let's come out there and let's work it out.
Excellent stuff.
Talk that.
10 to 6. 10 to 6 this Saturday at R.M. Bailey Park. You need to extend these hours. This is gonna be great. It's a lot of stuff, but it sounds like a whole lot of fun. And happy Father's Day to everybody.
Bless
We're gonna
you.
celebrate all week long. Again, it's the Boys and Girls Club of the Bahamas Father, Children, and Family Fun Day this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Bishop
Bless you.
Samroll, Brendan Folks, Nika Delancey, and D'Amico Williams. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here this morning. We're going to be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Sometimes I'd listen outside her door, and I'd hear how my mother cried for him. I pray for her even more than me. I pray for her even more than me.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, June 15th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. And this morning we are talking with the National Training Agency. There's a lot going on there and they're going to share with us, give us an update since the last time we had them on the show. Very happy to have with us Executive Chair Kendrick Knowles, Senior Director Dr. Nicole Andrews, and Public Relations and Marketing, Andre Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you all again.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
All right, so remind folks what the NTA, what National Training Agency is all about, and then we'll get a little deeper of your work. Dr. Andrews? Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Bahamas, and thank you for having us. So we're really excited at the National Training Agency. We're essentially positioned under the Ministry of Labor and the Public Service with a mandate to truly strengthen the workforce, close skills gaps, and really bring about competency training for young individuals between the ages of 16 and 26. So we're truly excited about that. We have a cohort kicking off on July 27th, and individuals can sign up at ntabahamas.org or come into our office on Gladstone Road and Munnings Drive, or just call us at 461-6024 to get set up and jumpstart their careers in many, many disciplines. But one of the things we're truly excited about at the National Training Agency is really the onboarding of our new chairman, Mr. Kendrick Knowles, and we'd like to take this opportunity just to always give honor to Ms. Agatha Marcel, the founder of the National Training Agency and former executive chairman who just retired in March of this year. Wow. And who laid a phenomenal foundation for this agency and caused really thousands of Bahamians to have been trained in many disciplines and jump-started their careers and are currently making a meaningful contribution to our society. Yeah. So Bahamas, please join me in welcoming Mr. Kendrick Knowles to the National Training Agency as our newest executive chairman.
Oh, wow.
Excellent. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Some big shoes to fill there.
It certainly is. It certainly is. But it's an honor of mine to taking on this responsibility. And I must say that it's really tied me to identifying even more my purpose. And I say that from a perspective of my background, where I would have come from. I would have spent 39 years in telecommunications. I was a part of Batelco before it became BTC. Wow. So I came up all the way from the rotary phone days and was instrumental in every aspect of telecommunication, new technology. But after leaving the company, I was also involved in union advocacy. I was a union president. You may have seen me picketing a couple of times outside there. So I've always cared about people. I've always cared about the development of people. And one of the great things in coming on board and the baton being handed to me by Ms. Agatha Marcel, who I worked under for a couple of years. So this was not, immediate appointment from a perspective of this is the first time I'm there. I've actually worked behind the scenes at the National Training Agency for 2 years. So I had an opportunity to see the organization, to see the leadership. And it was at that time that my heart really connected with the agency because it's really a part of who I am. So the agency having its prime objective of being a premier workforce training facility in the country, I saw a great opportunity and a great deal of pride, but more importantly, purpose in connecting with this organization.
All right, so I feel like I'm getting in your business. But so what's the difference between the executive chair and the executive director? What's your role versus Dr. Andrews' role?
Yes, okay. So the executive chair basically handles all of the policy, governance aspect of the agency to ensure that the identity of the agency is fulfilled for what it was set up for from an act of parliament, which was done sometime back in 2012, thereabouts. All right, and also to safeguard, to ensure that the objectives and everything of the agency is set. The executive director, which is Ms. Nicole Andrews, she handles all of the day-to-day operations. She deals with staffing, human resource matters, everything to do with the day-to-day running of the organization is her. I'm on the sideline there to assist with moving ahead with our objectives.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful stuff. All right. So we want to talk about what you all are doing and some of the exciting things going on. You mentioned the cohort, but before we get into it, so we had some interesting discussions on the show last week after what the prison commissioner had to say about the struggles they're having finding young men, even with two BJCs, but he's not the first person to talk like this. We keep hearing people say that we have an unprepared workforce. Just how bad is it from what you're seeing, and what do we need to do to fix this terrible situation?
Okay, thank you so much. And we certainly do believe and understand that there are challenges in the community, and this is why we're here at the National Training Agency. And though we have a population of young persons leaving school, essentially about maybe 54% without the academic qualifications, so to speak. And
54% without?
Without, they probably left school certificate, but not the qualifications that that traditionally society may be looking for. But this is the audience and the target population we're called to address at the National Training Agency. So we're ready to receive them and to welcome them in and help transform their lives into what they can be. We have a strong belief at the National Training Agency that each individual has something to offer. Everyone has purpose, potential, giftings, and a destiny, and we're here to unlock that. Now, society requires all types of giftings in order for it to run properly. And we have the academics, they are certainly needed in numerous professions, but then there are professions where there are more trade skills, hands-on that are needed. And we believe we're about unlocking the potential on the inside of these individuals, and they may not understand the path in which they are to go, but when they come here at the National Training Agency, it's 14 weeks with us. It doesn't sound like a long time, but quite a bit of transformative work has occurred as individuals would have come to us. You have 4 weeks of soft skills, where one of the things we focus on, some of those include self-awareness, understanding who you are as an individual, your strengths, identifying those within you. Also, we talk about money management. We also focus on communication, resume building, interviewing skills, also workplace governance. What do I do? The way the workplace is governed, workplace diversity. What do I do when I get into the workforce? These essential soft skills that are necessary for success. Many employees would have communicated to us that individuals come on the job, but because those soft skills components are not in place, they're not able to hold that job down. So we want to close that gap as well and ensure that individuals are prepared and ready to fit in the workforce. And then we close out with 10 weeks of practical skills where individuals can choose from many various disciplines, including teacher's aid, butler services, auto body and mechanics, just so many they can choose from and find their place, their fit, and really make a meaningful contribution and help build the society. Everyone has something to offer.
Yeah.
So that is what we believe at the National Training Agency, and that is the imperative work we're doing, and we're very excited about that.
Do we need to flip the script, like have NTA in the high schools? Because some of those things sound like things that people need to be learning at a much earlier age. Are we doing something wrong at that level? I'm sure you all don't want to answer that. But what do you say about that? Andre Kelly?
So I don't think it means that we're doing something wrong, but I think times have changed, things have evolved. But we also have to understand we're working with different groupings. We're working with those who are academically inclined, and then we're working with those who show up with their skills, their giftings, their hands that are designed to make room for them. And we need to look at our curriculum, and I think that is something the government in the past few years have been committed to, looking at the curriculum and seeing how we could diversify it to ensure it reaches the masses. And so the National Training Agency is a part of that healthy ecosystem that is designed to reach the masses. But of course, it's for those persons who've gone through school, they need a second chance, and we provide that opportunity. But definitely, I agree.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So you mentioned the new cohort. How many have there been so far? How many? You said thousands. How many people have gone through a NTA so far at this point?
Essentially, it is in the thousands. They're looking somewhere north of 6,000. And so we're really excited about it. We essentially run 2 cohorts a year. And the second cohort for this year is kicking off, as I indicated, in July, and near the end of July. Okay, and so individuals can certainly take part in signing up. I like to say that NTA is for those the people that we love, those who love young people. And so I'm not just speaking to young persons, but to those who love them, okay? Parents, aunts, neighbors, a church, a youth pastor. If you know a young person who their gifting is in the trades area, the skills, send them on board to connect with our program and be a part of that. We also partner with BTVI to offer many, many disciplines, such as welding, plumbing, masonry, carpentry. So many areas that persons can take a part of under our program and really begin and jumpstart their careers in society.
All right. So what's required? If you're interested in being a part of this cohort, what should you do? What should you not do? What do you need to be doing right now?
That's a good question. And so it's between the ages of 16 to 26. Now, there are requirements. You must be a Bahamian citizen. You must have less than 3 BGCSEs because we want those persons who didn't get them while they were in school. They need certifications, certificates, entry-level roles. And then you must also decide which discipline you want to choose. There's so much to choose from. We encourage persons to either visit our website, www.ntabahamas.org, or you could come right down to Gladstone Road. Our teams are there. We are available and willing to assist. It's important to note we are not just Nassau-centric. And so while we have a program starting in Nassau, we also have a program starting in Freeport, Grand Bahama on the same date, which is the 27th. So you could also visit our offices there, which is at the East Mall Drive. It's also important for us to note, while we go after those with second chances, we have other programs as well. We have the Institute of Leadership and Management that's geared towards productivity. You are in the workplace, there's potential, you have what it takes to become a leader, or maybe you are already a leader. We have a program that's internationally accredited that's designed to help you to amp up or level up your leadership. And then for those companies looking for something for your employees, whether it's training in customer service, housekeeping, and hospitality, we have some other programs there as well that could help. So it's all about the entire person, the young and the old as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so is there a fee to sign up? What do you do?
For we call the mandatory workforce preparatory program, that's where we talked about 16 to 26.
Mm-hmm.
This is free to these individuals. This is an opportunity for their lives to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
They ought to take advantage of it. They can just jumpstart and get into careers and with employers and really see their lives take off. We have so many success stories coming out of the National Training Agency. I'll just mention one, Wendell Curtis. He came into the agency a few years ago, and now he's leading as a manager at Albany, okay? And he's also a business owner, okay? 2 of them got together who were in a cohort as butlers, and they own a butler's business at this time. They also train in the butler services and a few other courses at NTA. So their lives have truly been transformed. And so this is an amazing opportunity that persons can just take a part of and really see their lives transformed.
Yeah.
Chairman?
Yes, and that is important for the country to understand, that there's an agency here that goes after those who are least likely to succeed,
right,
or view it as that. As was mentioned, those persons who have 3 or less BJCs. When you look at that, what would you do with students who leave school with 3 or less BJCs? They can't get a normal job out there. They're already leaving with the stigma behind them that they're not good enough. So one of the things the agency has proven itself to be able to do is to take those individuals and change that perception, change that narrative, change that outcome. And the 2 young men just mentioned are just one example of that.
Mm-hmm.
We have many others who've come in there, and you should come to one of those graduations to see the pride that's on the face of those parents, to see the tears that are being shed, because here's my child who I never thought would have made it because he was told that his whole life. And they're walking away with a certificate. And some of them actually, we have job fairs that are also presented before graduation. Some of them walk away from there with jobs, all right? Entry-level jobs, of course, but they leave with enthusiasm that, yes, I can. This is something I can do. I can achieve greatness, even though I left with 3 BJCs. Now I own a top-tier company in the country. So it goes to show that academia has its role, but there are young people out there that we need to incentivize, and we need to put some passion behind to let them know that you can make it. And the National Training Agency is there to help to cultivate that. Yes.
I think that's a very important point to make, that, our culture is still evolving from prioritizing academic excellence while not necessarily thinking that some of our people are more technical. Some of our people excel in different spaces. And what the NTA is doing is designing those spaces, those areas for the progression of folks into careers that better suit what they may be capable and better apt at doing, right? Because again, I think there's this beautiful quote like, if we judge a fish on how well it can climb a tree, then, it's not going to work out right there. I think Einstein said something along that fact. So if we find the different areas where our young people know that they can excel, we give them the opportunity to explore that, and it's for free. I mean, this is beautiful, and it's going to also counter something that Dwight and I talk about a lot on this show. Our society has a lot of troubles persons, right? So if you didn't do so well in high school, then now you have an opportunity to try something and to contribute not only to society, but to yourself, to your family.
That is correct, yes.
All right, so we know that we have people we like to say are late bloomers. And you said 16 to 26. So some people still don't get it by that time. What do you do when it's really only Grammy or Mummy or somebody else trying to get you in it, but you still don't get that this is an amazing opportunity? What do we do to reach those folks?
And so I think it's the whole concept of it takes a village, right? Sometimes the village, we look at the things that are not going right. We see those persons, we see who they are, we see them walking past our house every day, we see them sitting on the blocks. It takes a village. Reach out to that person, be another point of contact to say there's hope, I see potential. Don't be the ones to say you're dumb, you're stupid, you're no good, you're just like your mom, just like your pop, because there is, I guess, a reality, and as harsh as it seems, that those things happen. And those are the people that we see those kinds of traits, and we don't want to claim them, that we have to reach out to. We have to speak life to. And so if you see those young persons and you feel like they may be at risk, they may be troubled in some form or way, be the voice that says there's hope, there's life, there's purpose you've been created for. And there's programs like the National Training Agency, which is a part of a healthy ecosystem. I'll say it again, because we are not short on opportunities and avenues in this country. There's access to it. We just have to be willing and open to reach out and connect the dots. And there's no shame. There's no shame. And so the National Training Agency, we're definitely here to invest in you.
Yeah. Got some calls coming in, some text messages as well. Let's see if we can take these calls. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight. Your guest, how you doing?
Doing well.
Well, man, I want your guests, right, to pay more attention to the customer service skills training and the communication skills training. Because I'm 100% sure everyone in the Bahamas went in the shop before, and the people do as though they're doing you a favor by you coming in their shop. So the customer service is totally ridiculous. I blame the gratuity on that. And also, if you want to motivate your kids to do better in school, show them the electricity bill. Show them the same bill they have to pay when they come to mommy and daddy house, and I guarantee you they can get their life together real quick.
Okay. All right. I guess the first part of the question, customer service, I mean, you talk about soft skills, so I guess that would cover that. Yeah.
Well, so customer service, we actually offer this as one of the practical skills, disciplines that persons can take a part of. And so we offer that across both campuses, Grand Bahama and New Providence. So certainly persons can avail themselves of that opportunity. And as I said, it is free. It is free to them. And so we'll definitely believe in continuing to push the message and ensuring over the course of time that we see these changes come in the nation as we do our part in NTA. We're just part of the puzzle, but we believe change certainly is possible.
Yeah, and then too, if I may also add, if you look at our soft skill programs in depth, we have the self-awareness components, because a lot of times people are showing up on the job place and they don't have a full awareness of who they are, the things that triggers their responses. And so we dive into the self-awareness part that gives them the understanding to understand who you are, but also you're responsible for your actions. And then the emotional intelligence part that also says, this is how I'm feeling, and I also contribute to how others are feeling. And then, of course, we dive into the communication component, because that's a huge thing, too. And the way you say something, the nonverbal communications, all of those things impact customer service. And I think it's important for us to teach those things. The customer is king. We had that. The customer is always right. We had those things. But as the person offering the service, you have a responsibility to be professional, to be kind, and to be courteous. And those are some things we teach.
How long is that part of the program?
So that part of the program, that's a 4 weeks component. And another element in there, I think that impacts the customer service is the attitude shape up. That's one of the soft skills components that we offer. And sometimes young persons may not feel that they have an attitude issue or matter. But I was conducting somewhat of an exit interview with one of the learners from our program. She indicated she didn't think she had any attitude issues that I may have pointed out to her. But after the program, she can say, oh, I really, really benefited a lot. I saw where I could have made some adjustments. So I think it's a lot of them really crossing over. That's some of the self-awareness as well. And so she really saw some differences in herself, and now she's going to take that into the workplace, and we're going to see a better society.
Okay, I
one
find
of the
that
things, if
amazing.
I would also add, one of the things we're doing moving ahead is building that industry partnership out there with these employers. So when people leave the National Training Agency and they get jobs at a particular facility, we don't just leave it there. What we intend to do is do follow-ups to find out a few months later, so how is Joe coming on?
Right.
How is he performing with his entry level? Has there been any issues with his attitude or with tardiness, anything along that line? So, because what we believe here is that when we build a partnership, we're able to perfect the product even more. So when people get the jobs, and they go out and they perform, we can now be a part of finding out the results of that, how they're performing, and add, if we need to, add additional stuff through the soft skills training. But more importantly, we want to do a follow-up to ensure that our partners that we're delivering on the partnership.
Yeah. All right.
I had a question. Now, I'm hearing a lot that, we have the classes that are here. Do we have a virtual components for perhaps some of our younger folks throughout the islands, throughout the family islands? And I'm not talking about Grand Bahama right now.
Yeah, and so I'll say this, the National Training Agency, we are committed to expanding our digital footprint. We have been exploring some options. There's Cat Island, there's Eleuthera, there's some other things that we can't discuss in detail, but I can tell you, as the world evolves and the times change, we are exploring how to really increase our digital footprint, and so we're looking at some options, and we hope to introduce those real soon.
Okay.
Y'all head out Long Island?
All right, we've got another call here. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to have someone like Mr. Sweeting on the national airways. And I wanted to call in because this gentleman for the last 20 years has poured into me. And to see him now become the chairman of the National Training Agency, I believe that our training is in good hands. As I hear him talk about giving persons second chances, I had no choice but to remember myself and the amount of times that he poured into me without being in such a position, that just being him as a person naturally. And so, Mr. Kendrick Sweeting, I want to say congratulations.
Kendrick Knowles.
Kendrick Knowles. I want to say congratulations to you, Mr. Knowles. This is Mandel, sir. You've done a tremendous job with me, and I know the amount of other persons that you've reached out to. And so I want to congratulate you publicly, sir, on being the person that you are. And I believe that you're a very fitting person to be the chairman of the National Training Agency.
Thank you, Mandel. And you're a great tree I see growing out there also. So you continue to do well.
All right, wonderful stuff. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, so this question somebody's asking, I guess, oh boy. Can a 3-year engineering student who's on a break take part in the training agency programs?
So I'll take this one. We are delighted to help in the work of training individuals in country. But when it comes to the National Training Agency, we have a focused target audience because someone currently at that level in engineering, they are well able, we believe, to make their way in the world. We're looking for those who need a second chance, who may not have another option or opportunity, and we want to really save those spots for those individuals to help them get a hand up in life, to see how they can become better so they don't go into areas and paths that may not be beneficial. And so I commend the individual in engineering, and I think they're well able to succeed, and we wish them well, but we really want to focus on really our core mandate for these individuals. However, for the individual in engineering, if you're currently on a break, we do have a program, Institute of Leadership and Management, ILM we term it, and they can certainly take a part of that. Now, that's not a free program, that there will be some cost there, but they can certainly use that to up their skills as either a supervisor or a manager, leadership, teamwork, conflict resolution. They can certainly avail themselves of that opportunity that we have available at the National Training Agency.
Okay, all right. So where can we go to find out all the programs that you're offering? Your website, tell us about that again.
So you can visit our website, www.nhamas.org. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Just check it out, NTA NASA, NTA Grand Bahama, NTA Exuma. We are there.
Okay, all right. So one more time, the deadline for this cohort, when is that?
So the cohort kicks off on July 27th. I'm talking moments just before that date. Persons can still sign up, but don't wait that long. Let's jump into it right now, grab those opportunities, and let's see us to help you take your career to the next level.
And do you need to bring anything special? What do you need to do if you're applying?
You would need your passport. You would also need a copy of your NIB card. And just if you have your resume as well, and then if you have any copies of your BGCSEs, you can bring those as well if you have those.
You said 16. If you haven't graduated from high school?
Ages 16 to 26. If you're in high school, we're not in that population at this. That's not our focus at the National Training Agency. But once you've left high school, 16 to 26, that's the target population for us.
Okay. So these are opportunities, folks. Take advantage of this. This is
free opportunities.
Free. People are trying to help you.
Transformative measures. So many lives have been changed. We're truly excited and delighted. And we know everyone has something to offer in society. Come, let's help give direction. Some of the other things persons have been saying to us, they've received direction in this program. They've received encouragement. They were told things that they could not succeed, and now they're hearing from us that they can. Wow. So we're seeing lives transform, beliefs change, paradigm shift. And so this is the place to come and take a part. Chairman, you want to?
No, it certainly is. We take our role in the country as a part of the national development very seriously, particularly for those young people who are underprivileged and not regarded as being good enough. Mm-hmm. All right, we're seeing some great results coming out of what we're doing at National Training Agency. But I just want to also add out there to the industry partners out there in the different scopes out there, reach out to us. As we will be reaching out to you also, to let you know that we can assist you in moving ahead with your new employees. All right, there's a lot going on out there. There are different industries that are being created out there. We want to be a part of that. We want to help in your development, but we also want to help in the development of those young men, particularly like you would have mentioned earlier in the show. Those who are getting caught up in the wrong thing, they have abilities because they're able to bring attention to what they're doing out there. It's just not focused. It's not in the right direction. Mm-hmm. So we want to help bring them in the right direction, see the potential that's within them. But they have to believe in themselves. We can be a part of assisting them once they come in, all right? But they invest in themselves and we'll invest in them.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I believe you're going to be back in a few weeks. Maybe we'll get to meet some of the success stories.
Yes, we will definitely be back with some of our success stories.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
We'd also like to commend our amazing, incredible team down at the National Training Agency as we work together to carry out this mandate. They're simply phenomenal. Absolutely. And I just want to commend the awesome work they're all doing and leading in their various disciplines and spheres of influence.
Excellent stuff. Looking forward to more discussions with you all. Kendrick Knowles Sr., Executive Chairman, Executive Director Dr. Nicole Andrews, and Public Relations and Marketing Andre Kelly. Thank you. Thank you all for being here this morning. Keep up the great work you're doing with National Training Agency.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Glen Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. You should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC has given us some trouble, sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Are you a tourism business owner or ready to become one? At the Tourism Development Corporation, we work with tourism entrepreneurs at every stage, turning ideas into thriving businesses and helping existing ones grow. Support and funding opportunities to targeted initiatives and strategic partnerships. We're here to help you take that next step. Build your future in tourism with the Tourism Development Corporation. Visit tdcbahamas.com to learn more.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Tired of putting life on hold every time the power goes out? Get a Kohler generator from Lightbore Marine and enjoy life without interruption. We stock generators for your home, business, or job site. Need a new generator for your boat? Take command with Kohler's extensive range of marine generators. With 40 years experience, Lightbore Marine has you covered with parts, service, and the best manufacturer's warranty in the industry. See how a Kohler generator can enhance the quality of your life and the success of your business at Lightbore Marine, 63 East Bay Street. Visit us at lightboremarine.com.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. The Central Bank of the Bahamas' quarterly economic review for quarter 1 2026, revealing that total foreign arrivals grew by 17.5% to 3.8 million visitors during the review quarter. According to the data from the Ministry of Tourism, sea arrivals expanded by 19.6% to 3.3 million relative to the comparative 2025 period. Similarly, the high-value added air component strengthened by 5.2% to 0.5 million, contrasting with a reduction of 3.3% in 2025. Read more of that in today's Guardian business section. Business license fees rose by $48.7 million in the first quarter of the year, revealed by the quarterly review, economic review as well. Tax receipts at 90.7% of total revenue rose by $34.9 million or 3.8% to $942.7 million. Specifically, levies on goods and services grew by $34.4 million or 5.8% to to $622.8 million as taxes on the use of supply of goods and services expanded by 45.2 million, or 28.1%, to $206 million. A fire destroyed a stall on Junkanoo Beach on Saturday, but vendors have committed to rebuild, as no injuries have been reported. President of the Junkanoo Beach Association, Byron Coley Austin, in a WhatsApp message to the media, saying that the association was deeply saddened by the fire at the Drunken Monkey on June 13th. JBA is calling upon its members, business owners, employees, and supporters to come together in the spirit of community and lend assistance wherever possible. They're trying to organize a relief and donation effort to support those impacted by the loss. The vendors are currently in the process of having their businesses renewal this week, and the JBA is unsure how the fire will affect their assessments. And BTC rolling out what it describes as the most comprehensive suite of unlimited mobile plans ever offered in the Bahamas, introducing features commonly found with major North American carriers, including unlimited social media access, dedicated hotspot allowances, and rollover data. Thursday, the telecommunications provider unveiled 3 new postpaid plans, including Flex, Plus, and Ultra, which offer varying levels of unlimited services. You can read more about that in today's Guardian business section. Overseas stock markets are rallying worldwide today, and oil prices are easing after the United States and Iran reached a tentative deal to extend their ceasefire and reopen the Strait of Hormuz to get the global flow of crude oil going again. The S&P 500 rose 1.5% on hopes that this time the announcement of an Iran-U.S. agreement will mean a long-term fix to conflict that has sent inflation painfully upward for the entire world. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 638 points, or 1.2% as of 9:35 a.m. Eastern Time, and the Nasdaq Composite was 2.3% higher. Stocks got a lift after the price of a barrel of Brent crude fell 4.8% to $83.18 rather, back to where it was in early March. While that's still higher than its price of roughly $70 before the war began 3 months ago, it's lower than the $100+ it cost just a few weeks ago. The hope is that lower oil prices will take pressure off households and businesses, which have had to pay higher prices for everything from food to fuel to fertilizer because of the war with Iran. Closer to home in your market watch locally, your market movers from Friday, Focol moving 2,700 shares, closing at 720 unchanged. Commonwealth Brewery moving 3,465 unchanged at 990. APD Limited moving 867, closing at $51 unchanged. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,231.48, up 0.07. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight to CFAL Talks right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 at 6:30 p.m. And that is going to do it for us, Deandra Cartwright, on this Monday morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Vice John, for having me.
And I'll see you again next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight.